make some money. What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate y'all for kicking off this day with the Woo crew. Let's run up those lights, and we already got a couple super chats in, and you know what? We'll get to those and real quick. We are talking about the Pistons this segment, and there is the slam game. So they're going to unveil the slam cover. That's on the Knicks against the Knicks on April 10th. So we got a couple tickets that I want to be able to give away to some people. But we'll see how the super chats go over a couple days. I was going to leave it up to JB to set the mark because I know 50 is our first merch goal giveaway. But should we set a week goal? A goal for this week for the ticket giveaway?
I definitely think we should, especially given how important the game is. Obviously, Cade, slam cover, it's a special thing. So, I don't know. We'll have to think about that a little bit more to see kind of what value we want to hit for the week.
Let's do this.
But it'll definitely be on Friday? You want to give them away?
Let's do that. Friday.
For sure.
Let's do that, man. Yep. And
we'll be at opening day.
All right. So, yeah, let's do Thursday then. Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It is that week.
I keep forgetting this opening week. Oh,
wow. Maybe we can still do it on the show Friday.
Oh.
Get people to tap in anyway. Yeah. We'll do that. We'll get White Claw Flannel to do it too.
Oh, God.
We'll think about it. But I just wanted to let you guys know we're definitely thinking about you guys as it relates to the Pistons and trying to get some boots on the ground. We're also going to have a giveaway on socials as well as one from Woodward Pistons too. So you guys are going to have 3 chances to win. Wake Up Woodward, Woodward Sports Socials, and Woodward Pistons are all a part of the Woodward Sports Network. So let's take care of those super chats, JB Smooth.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Shout out to everyone sending in super chats as well, too. $5 from Burn came here earlier.
Shout out.
He said Sam channeling his Detroit Pistons energy right there.
Shut up and take my
early
money.
in the morning. Or early in the morning. Shout out Dante151999. He said, hell, last night seeing that fight between the Pistons and the Timberwolves, I felt like Dave Chappelle in the one skit where he yells, play the fight music, play the fight music. Anyway, I wanted 50 wins, so we're getting there. But, hey, the fight last night, fellas.
Listen, man.
There's a lot to talk about.
Squabble up.
So much
Squabble up.
Squabbling.
Because, overall, obviously in the last 4 games without Cade Cunningham and Tobias Harris, the Pistons are 3-1. And it looked like they were on their way to 4-0 last night until the fight. Think about this. They were up 10 points. Mm-hmm. It was BTA Pistons in the first quarter, and they were well on their way to having a really chokehold on this game, for lack of a better word. And in a game where a fight broke out and actually spilled over into the fans, bro. It's like Detroit, welcome back.
Yeah.
But that's where I see Minnesota Timberwolves fans online popping their chest. I'm seeing Cade detractors and people who don't want to believe in the Pistons pumping their chest look at you guys underneath all of the different posts oh, look at this, bad boys lost tonight, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whoa. You guys barely perked up and beat a Pistons team that ultimately was missing 7 players and their coach.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at the box score, when you look at the game, you guys have your entire lineup basically. You got Ant Edwards out there, you got Rudy Gobert out there, and ultimately what this game and what this last 4 games has kind of symbolized for me is the Pistons fight. JB Bickerstaff promised grit. And in the beginning of the season, it sounds funny because of how bad they had been for the last 2 seasons. But when you see this team going out there and pushing the envelope as it relates to the physicality, when you see this team going out there and now doing things that probably wouldn't have even been fathomable, they're in the middle of not just a playoff chase, but seeding, trying to see if they can actually host a home playoff series, this Detroit Pistons team. And it's been founded in the fact that they said that they want to be more physical than anybody else. They want to play defense tougher than anybody else. And that, to me, was what was on display last night. They still were trying to battle, but they had just lost too many people after those ejections. And just so people do know the different ejections, and there were a ton of them.
Do you want to see them? Because I got
Go ahead.
Hey,
Please
pop
do.
them up
Please
there, man.
That's crazy.
This crazy. Look at all
Marcus
those-
Sasser, technical foul. Ron Hollins, the second, ejected. Isaiah Stewart, ejected. Isaiah Stewart, technical foul. Ron Hollins, second, technical foul. Ron Hollins, technical foul. Dante DiVincenzo, ejected. Nas Reed, ejected. Donovan DiVincenzo, technical foul again. And once again, technical foul on Reed. Once again, also, JB Bickerstaff got ejected as
And
well
he
as
got
Ejectocito, cuz.
Assistant coach. And just for those of you who aren't counting, that is 7 total ejections, 3 for the Timberwolves and 4 for the Pistons, on top of the fact that they were already missing Cade, Jaden Ivey, as we know, and Tobias Harris. They were really playing with a skeleton crew to end that
half
game.
the team.
That was
Literally half the team.
But they were
Yeah.
kicking tail before that, though.
Yeah.
That was a crazy thing. Like think about it. If you, that's what I was like. If you're just perusing, you just look at just kind of what the score is, you would assume Ant Edwards or somebody didn't play, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. There's something different about this team. And even I know we're going to talk a little bit more about who they've been over the last kind of 4 games and really the larger part of who they've been over the season. But in this game in particular, I liked a lot of the things that I did see. Obviously, you want your squad to win. But when you see Malik Beasley go out there in 38 minutes and be able to put up still an efficient 27 points on 6 of 13 from behind the arc, Tim Hardaway puts up 20 points, you know, Asar Thompson and such. Like, these are the things that you want to see, especially as you're approaching the playoffs, is the consistent play. These are things we've seen these guys do now for a long time. And Tim Hardaway, he missed a little bit of time, came back, had an first game back, but since then he's been very consistent. It was one of the bigger reasons why, if not the biggest reason why, we won against the Cavaliers.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's good to see these guys still stay consistent, because you know when you get your dogs back, when you get your horses back, when Isaiah Stewart is playing more than 7 minutes in a game, when Ron Holland is playing more than 7 minutes a game, Sasser, who's been hot while Cade has been down, only played 6 minutes. Those have been really a large part of your X factors that's underpinned as well these wins over the last 4 games without Cade and Tobias Harris. So
I want to ask one question and I want everyone in the room to answer, because I'm genuinely curious, because I don't know how I feel about it. Obviously, we know what happened in the game. The Pistons, they were up by 10 when the brawl happened. They ultimately lost by 19. They really had no chance to win when all of those players were out, on top of, got ejected, and JB Bickerstaff as well, on top of everybody else that they were playing without. Are you guys more happy with the fight or disappointed that all of the ejections happened? Because without the ejections, they might have won the game.
the fight for me is like the consolation prize.
Okay.
Because I want wins right now. I want this team to be able to have opportunity to host a playoff series, and that's what they're fighting for. And to know that in an instant like that, it can kind of be taken away, and they weren't, in my opinion, even the aggressors in a situation like that, but they lost. They had more people ejected. That to me is just where I'm like, you know what, it's something else got to be done, man. I understand you don't like the way that you probably are fouled on a play. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't give you the right to walk up on the rookie Ron Holland and say, all right, let's start something. Like, and that to me is where I'm just like, you know what? You take the fight as a consolation prize because you realize this team is never going to stop swinging even when all the chips are down. But you want to see this squad have opportunity to have their players on the court and win, especially when they're already entering this game
empty-handed. Yeah, underhanded. Yeah.
KG?
Nah, I mean, I like the fight, of course, because that's just who we are. We ain't gonna let nobody punk us. Like, I like Nas Reed, but that shit was uncalled for. Yeah, right. I like Nas Reed, but that shit was uncalled for, bro. You kind of got what you deserve, bro. You lucky. You were firmly in control of that game before, you know, the people got ejected, and we kind of knew what that was, bro. After everybody got kicked out, you kind of knew that the Pistons probably weren't gonna win this one. So it is what it is. It's just. At this point, I'm trying to get to the playoffs healthy. That's my main concern.
Yeah, that there, man. Healthy and consistent, because I like the game as well from Dennis Schroeder. Have you guys looked at like his last several games from Dennis Schroeder? Yeah. He's stuffing the stat sheet.
Yeah.
Like across the board. He's playing confident. And it's like the Dennis Schroeder that for years, if he's playing against us and he's dancing all around us with Atlanta and he's making all types of clutch shots and such, it's like, you know what? I hate this dude. But if he was on my squad, I would love this dude. Now he's with the Detroit Pistons. I'm glad that he and Malik Beasley had a connection prior, because Dennis Schroeder is a player that looks like he could have gone to any one of the contenders above the Pistons and contributed to them. But instead, he came to Detroit, and he had an opportunity, because you remember the way that the trade was first announced. And then all of a sudden, something went back, and they're like, whoa, Pistons got Dennis Schroeder. They're going to rework this thing, because it was supposed to be that Dennis Schroeder was going to get bought out and have his pick. So it was awesome to know that we got this collection of veterans who they have a little bit of a connection to here already prior, but now they've formed as like the players that's been there and done that, that's had that temperament as it relates to playoffs and playing meaningful basketball. It's cool to see these guys step into that role with these young players who want to get there fast. And we're seeing this situation. Like, I'm sitting here like, yo, the Pistons have 42 wins on the season, and there's still games left to go, and they are battling for the 4th seed. They are literally ahead of Milwaukee Bucks right now. It's just like, it's a good situation for the Pistons, and that's why I like the nuance of your question, man, because at this point, this Pistons team has changed my expectations completely. It's not just how high can they punch up. Now it's just, you guys are good enough to win.
Yeah.
Just all like every matchup that's I think about, I'm like, you guys are good enough to win. Even in a 7-game series, if you can't win that, I don't see any matchup where they would get swept.
No.
And that's
Not at all.
The expectation for me with this team has just changed to one where when I think of the Pistons, I think about defense, I think about grit, I think about hustle, I think about winning now.
Yeah, and speaking of winning, and I think this is a perfect transition to take a break and talk about Friday's game, I got to do a bit of a mea culpa because I predicted the Pistons would lose against the Cavs. I said when they lose, and I couldn't be happier to be wrong. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if I've the completeness of that game in terms of everybody chipping in and contributing and playing great. It was just a thing of beauty to watch, and Friday night in LCA, that must have been the place to be. And, oh, by the way, the Cavs, they were not playing shorthanded. I'll just say that. But
another game where you kind of look at the box score if you haven't looked at the game, and you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, even if you're looking at the game, you're like, what's going on here?
Yep.
I mean, I just want to say this before we head to break, just real quick. Shout out to Jay Hart in the chat. He's the reason why I looked this up as well, too. Eric Vincent put out a tweet yesterday. He said Chris Finch said he believes most of the escalating physicality came from the Pistons side before the fight even broke out. Do you guys believe that?
The physicality?
Yes, physicality.
I do. 100%. It's what J.B. Bickerstaff said they are. And he said it. He said that the thing here is them not going over the line.
Exactly.
That's what Malik Beasley said, too. We have to find a way to not get ourselves thrown out the game. And so it's like this is something that they do. J.B. Bickerstaff said, we will push and push and push from a physicality standpoint and try and push the other team over the limit. Unfortunately, if you're getting yourself ejected in a game where you're shorthanded, that can't be. And I'm glad they're having these experiences right now because they are fighting for something right now. This team has changed their expectation from just get in to we want to be able to host a playoff or get a 5th seed or finish amongst these playoff contending teams that's been here for years on end. So it's like they now know, look at what you probably cost yourself. You guys were up. So it's like you like to fight still in that situation, in that instance, but man, oh man, you want them to be able to rack up those dubs and have opportunity to have what they're fighting for.
Absolutely. And before we get to the Cavs game breakdown, it's going to be me, just one quick thing, fighting the chat a little bit before we go to break. Just a little bit, but I'm going to do it nicely. Matthew Kruger, just answer this question in the chat.
Oh, God.
And if you answer honestly, I will never bother you again. Are you an actual Pistons fan? Seriously. Answer the question in the chat, and how you answer will be how I react moving forward. Just, are you a Pistons fan? But first, tell us about Grand Slam.
Oh, is it me?
Me?
My bad.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Y'all gonna stop fucking with Sam today. I know that. Sam not having it on. He on y'all ass today.
He on that Ron Holland energy.
Yeah, man. I'm not mad at it either.
Yeah,
He's
me
walking
either.
up to random people like,
Right. Square up. Squabble up.
Squabble up.
Squabble up.
listen, just go back and watch that thing. Clarkson wasn't even fighting.
He wasn't. Ron Holland be ready to square up on anything, bro.
Put your dukes up, pal.
He said, yeah.
Put your dukes up, pal.
Put them up.
Hey, Detroit,
Put
get
'em
ready.
up.
Tigers opening day is here on April 4th this week, man.
Let's go.
Join Woodward Sports for the biggest and best party in the D, the Grand Slam